What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires Dread It, Run From It. Avengers 5 was always an inevitability in the MCU, something I already said once this week and probably 100 times here since 2019. Marvel didn't spend $1 billion invested into the Avengers franchise, never to do an Avengers 5. Today we have a brand new industry insider scoop coming from one of these Twitter scoopsters who indicates not only is Avengers 5 being preliminarily talked about, but a 6 and 7 as well. That's right, an entire Avengers trilogy in the future phases of the MCU. He says quite a bit about it. I'm probably going to say even more. While it's not a total debunk because we've already been talking about Secret Wars here at the channel several times in the last 6 months, we'll fill you in on what's going on there. They are going to do a Secret Wars. It seems like it's a bit early, but maybe that's what's cool about this report, and I'm going to explain why. We're breaking down this most recent tweet from Moth Culture and what he says is going on behind the scenes at Marvel Studios. I'm going to also annotate, react, break down, and maybe slightly debunk. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews, all the way to industry insider scoops like we're covering today and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That'll automatically enter you to win all of the giveaways, like the PS5 we're halfway to at the moment. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, quick reminder before we jump into today's report. These guys get stuff right. The industry insiders and the Twitter scoopsters, that's why we pay attention. It's also very fun to speculate, but remember, it's not an official Marvel Studios announcement, so try to keep it in grain of salt territory. This is what internet Twitter scoopster Moth Culture had to say about Avengers Secret Wars becoming a trilogy in the future phases of the MCU. Avengers Secret Wars decisions are heating up, with the early drafts having the story coming as a trilogy. Ideas are massive, with Marvel planning the 3 parts to be filmed back to back. Now, I know there are going to be a lot of you, initially like me, who have that first reaction of it is way too early to start talking about Secret Wars at this point. We haven't even dealt with Kang yet, and we still have plenty of teams to introduce, like the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. It's true, Marvel are doing way more properties now with the Disney Plus shows, but it took 10 years to build out the Infinity Saga. Even if you quicken the pace, we're still 5 or 6 years off before we ever get to anything like that. Fact is, only 6 months ago we reported on Jim Shooter, one of the original writers from the 1980 original Secret Wars story. Marvel Studios reached out to him. He discussed this publicly during a convention in Orlando, making sure they did diligence in a legal way with contracting for the work for hire work he did on Secret Wars. Work for hire means they paid him at the time for whatever IP he created working for them, and they still wanted to do diligence and sign another contract. His implication is they're obviously looking to do a Secret Wars story. Marvel Studios wouldn't be doing that otherwise. There's also the introduction of some Phase 4 characters coming up, specifically one in the villain and She-Hulk, that leads directly into the Secret Wars storyline. You have directors like the Russos openly discussing that not only is a project they'd like to do, but one of the projects they'd be willing to come back for. So there's been plenty of reporting on Secret Wars being on Marvel Studios' radar and maybe the eventual crossover. And you have to think, if they are truly going to turn this into a 3-part series and they release, say, one a year in May or April like they did with Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, think about how many movies have to happen sequentially during that. Maybe 2, even 3 a year if they keep up the pace. 9 other movies working between those films to fill in the storylines, even be prequels. It's such an enormous undertaking, my brain can't even handle it. Me and my producer take a month to make one song. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of people working on just one film. The amount of moving parts that go into this, so yes, when you think about it from that standpoint, in the on-ramp of discussions that need to take place to set all this up, I guess there is some probability they may already be talking about Avengers Secret Wars and what that would look like. As much as we've started talking about it now, my thought is you would maybe do 3 films and space them out just a little bit more, maybe like how they do Spider-Man's every other year. But the problem with that is he said they were filming them back to back, what makes me think that they would want the sort of feel of them all being the same movie, much in the way they did Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Man, and when they say it like that, if there's any truth to it, That definitely points directly to the Russos, who have some direct experience in dealing with a movie like that, a movie of this scale, and what it means to do a cinematic sort of closing piece for a Marvel universe. Something that's really never existed in the past. That was a one-of-a-kind undertaking by them. We are so far off from this, though. Kang undoubtedly is going to be the antagonist of the Fantastic Four series. It doesn't seem like he's a one-off villain for a film like that. While I do anticipate we'll see him in other properties, not even just Ant-Man, obviously Loki Season 2, I don't see them disposing of Kang in the very first Fantastic Four movie. But if he's shown up in enough properties and enough his story's been told, perhaps then he is dealt with in the first one. 2 and 3 can sort of venture into introducing Doctor Doom, and then you reboot the Avengers right behind it. Okay, reboot, wrong word, you know what I mean. New iteration of the Avengers right behind it. But they better introduce the X-Men by the time we get to Secret Wars. And perhaps we are going to get some sort of intersection of the old Fox universe and the upcoming Doctor Strange, and some of them hold over like the rumors have said, but I just don't see them doing that. I'm very anxious to see who the Avengers of the MCU will be, because some of those actors are no way. Hugh Jackman is not going to be the MCU's Wolverine for the next 10 years. We can dream about it all we want, as incredible as that would be. There are new actors to come play these roles, and that's what we want. So regardless of how exciting this is to talk about, just know there are plenty of teams and projects still to come in the MCU before we get to this, but we're going to hear more. Industry insiders have been talking about it for the last 2 years, and maybe when the Russos come back, they'll be a little more indicative of exactly what the plan looks like for them and what they'll plan on doing. I'm still hoping they'll take a leading character like Wolverine. They set the tone perfectly with the Captain America Winter Soldier. I think that sort of tone, especially against all of what we've gotten in the highly comedic setting of Phase 4, would be perfect for a Wolverine trilogy leading into Secret Wars. That's just me. You guys let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments quickly. Let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we're still giving away a PlayStation 5. Every 20,000 subscribers all the way up to 1 million, we are already over halfway to the next one. So if you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, and it will apply for all the giveaways here at the channel, hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name Allfires. And while I would highly appreciate you checking my music out, it's all good. Thanks for checking this channel out. I sincerely appreciate it. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.